about this, Charlie?
Absolutely, Alice. Bob's been underperforming for weeks now. I mean, just look at him.
It's hard to believe. You always said he was such a diligent worker.
Well, he isn't now. I honestly think you should fire him.
That's not gonna happen. HR said that he's too valuable to let go.
He was too valuable.
He won't get fired, but something has to be done about this. Your supervisor tells me this is the third time we've caught you slacking off this week. You're on thin ice, mister. If you don't start working harder, you'll be out that door so fast you won't even have time to update your LinkedIn profile. Now get to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Bob? Can you come with me for a few minutes? There's something we need to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
Now then, you're a very hard worker, Bob. Over the last few weeks, I've been hearing a lot about your quality of work. Charlie's been saying you've been slacking off, and I have to admit, it didn't look like you were focused at all at your work back there. Is there anything frustrating you at work, or is there any external factors that might be affecting your quality of work?
Well, honestly, things are pretty rough at home. My brother's in the hospital and they say he's on the mend, but I can't help but worry about him.
And is it making it hard for you to focus on your work?
Well, yeah, it is.
I understand. It's not easy to handle family issues. Would it be good for you if you take some time off to visit your brother?
I guess it couldn't hurt.
Great. Why don't we start an action plan? We can hash out how long you'll be gone and what will be expected from you when you come back.
Thank you guys for coming in on such short notice. Recently, we've gotten a bunch of complaints by the other employees about the way the two of you have been behaving towards each other. And I have spoken to you two one-on-one, but neither of you want to go into any details. And while that is fine, I'm hoping that when we leave today, you two will be willing to cooperate.
Well, unlike Payal, I'm ready to do this in a professional manner.
I don't think this personal dynamic is going to work. I don't want to work with Evan.
What would it take to improve this personal dynamic?
It's very simple.
Pack your things up. You're fired for your unprofessional behavior.
Well, that's really funny, because I was going to suggest...
Pack your things up. You're fired for your unprofessional behavior. That's enough. The way the two of you are behaving is like children and extremely unprofessional. There's only so much that I and the rest of the team can tolerate. Both of you used to get along really well and work even better when you first joined the company. I don't know what happened in this time, but you guys need to get your stuff together. The way you guys act, the way you guys speak to each other, it's making everyone uncomfortable and it's affecting them and their performance, and it has to stop. If not for yourselves, do it for your coworkers. They don't deserve this. So what do you say? Are you guys willing to put your issues aside and work on this?
Yeah, I guess I don't want to bring other people down for something they had nothing to do with.
Yeah, same here. Maybe we can work out our differences someday, but for now the least we can do is keep others out of it.
I'm really glad to hear that. I really didn't want to get HR involved, so I was hoping that we would resolve this amongst ourselves. For now, I trust you guys, but in a few weeks, I'll check and see how you guys are behaving. But yeah, thank you so much for meeting with me.
We'll do our best. We won't disappoint. That's good stuff. By the way, have you talked to Bob lately? It doesn't seem like he's been working hard lately. His quality of work's been going down, and the number of hours he's been putting in seems to be getting low too.
I haven't talked to him specifically about work, but I do agree that he needs to get his stuff together. We also shouldn't tell our boss about this. We don't want him to end, working from home.
Yeah.
We should deal with Bob directly. What do you think we should do?
I'm not sure. We'll need to talk to him.
That's true. We also shouldn't go easy on him because he doesn't deserve the leeway after slacking off like that. How about we force him to work harder by telling him that if he doesn't work harder, we'll get him fired?
Oh, well, that doesn't seem morally right. But it should work because he wouldn't want to be losing his job. He certainly will try to do better if he thinks he can get fired because of it. I think we should first discuss his underperformance with him, since there are many reasons that could be affecting his productivity, like stress, a lack of skills, a lack of motivation, or personal issues.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Then we can also discuss these issues and provide possible solutions to these said issues. And see how we could manage them.
It's also important to make sure that he understands why he needs to be working harder, and we should respectfully listen to what he has to say so we can all agree on something instead of blaming each other.
I agree. Bob's an understanding guy. I think he'd understand us and not really create an issue and not have a problem with what we say. But I'm not sure how we can help him deal with these issues and his work performance.
Well, I've heard of a performance plan that's used by employers to help employees who are struggling with their performance and productivity. But we could do something similar. It outlines the goals set for the employee and the potential performance issues that hinder those goals. We should then add suggestions for improvements and give advice on how he can do better.
That might work. We should also make sure to have scheduled progress meetings to make sure he's on top of things and see if he needs any help. And if he does, we can give him the push.
Yeah, that's perfect. If it's a personal issue, we'll let him have a few hours to himself if he needs it. But he will need to start working hard as usual and gradually do it more as things get better. If it's a skill or motivational issue, we'll make sure to provide support and reference for better skills. And for stress, we'll ease the load for him a bit, but he'll still have to put in an appropriate number of hours into his work.
Of course.
Excellent.
I just started. How am I supposed to get all this work done this week? Do they really expect me to get this whole feature in my first sprint? I hardly know this code base. You know what? If I just grit through it, work hard, and do my best, maybe I can get it done. What's the worst that could happen?
So, with everyone's tasks complete, we should just barely meet the rigid deadline our client gave us. And this is the big one, too. So, James, do you have your task done?
I got half of it done?
So, you didn't get the stuff done. Then we need to be able to hit this deadline on our biggest client yet.
Never mind. There's a lot of bad things that could happen. I think I'll just book a meeting with my boss and figure it out. So that's why it's a bit much of a workload for me right now. I don't want us to miss any lines, so could we work around a bit?
Oh, definitely. Sorry, I kind of forgot how big the project is for newcomers. It is a very hefty code base, after all. Hello, just trying to shift some work around. Are you able to take on feature request 14 for this week? Well, you're good to go.
That was easy. Now to take on what's left.